Coming up on this hour of Chris 6 Sunrise, the longest government shutdown in history is potentially almost over. Scripps News Group's Joe St. George will join us with the very latest on what's next.
Here at home, a 14-year-old lost his life because of street racing. What witnesses say happened and what the alleged suspects could face if they're convicted.
Neighbors in San Patricio County are still recovering from last week's hailstorm. I'm Adam Beam, making sure you avoid any potential scams.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Chris 6 Sunrise. Thank you so much for waking up with the Hoffmans. I'm Michelle Hoffman.
And I'm Brian Hoffman. It was chilly. We got to get our move on to warm up this morning. And for more on that, plus to find out if the traffic is going to be okay, we got Victoria Balderrama joining us in for Stephen. Thank you so much for coming in this early in the morning. How are the roads looking so far?
Yeah, good question, because it is chilly. We're in the 40s. The temperatures will warm up. But as far as traffic, well, everything looks good. No major accidents to report. As you can see, Ocean Drive, fast-moving traffic. Then we got SPID, Saratoga, nothing major to report. Now, we do have some medium-moving traffic on Ayers Street. It looks like right here on the intersection of Ayers and SPID, and more towards Saratoga as the day gets started. A lot of people are on their way to work or school, so you want to be careful as you head out the door. Something also to note is, because it is a bit cooler this morning, you're going to want to maybe start your car, let your engine get warm, and also so you can stay warm inside your car. I think it helps with like your tires, the engine, lubricate the engine. That's what we were talking about. So just be safe as you're heading out. Now over to Flower Bluff, medium moving traffic along there. But everything looks good, really. Green means good. So as you head out, just take it slow on your Tuesday morning, starting your day. It is Veterans Day. Happy Veterans Day. We want to make sure that we give them a shout out. Thank you for your service. But as far as your traffic, nothing major to report. Fast moving traffic, and just be safe on the roads.
Victoria, thank you so much for that. So we're getting to your neighbor news in just a little bit, folks. But first, the Senate has passed a bipartisan bill on Monday night to reopen the government and bring an end to this record-setting shutdown.
Yeah, to talk more about this, we bring in our Deputy Political Director, Joe St. George, this morning. Good morning, Joe. So, big question, when can we expect the House to vote on the deal, and what are the odds that this deal actually passes the House?
Let's talk the timing first. It's out of the Senate. Now I'll focus on the House. We're not going to get a vote today. Remember that the House isn't back yet. They will be back tomorrow. In fact, we've been advised 4 p.m. Eastern Time, 3 p.m. Central Time is when we could see the first vote to reopen the government in the House. The rosiest, most optimistic scenario is late Wednesday night, early Thursday morning. Perhaps it's the breaking news Thursday morning when we come on the air that the government is reopened, if this deal continues to hold. And there's reason to think that it will. For one, it's easier for Republicans in the House to pass this than it was for Republicans in the Senate. Republicans can pass this in the House without a single Democrat voting for this measure. Republicans needed a few Democrats in the United States Senate. Now, Speaker Mike Johnson, President Trump, they can only afford to lose. They have a 2-vote margin, so it's less than a handful of Republicans in the House. But Speaker Johnson will likely lean in on President Trump's lobbying efforts. It's been successful so far here in 2025 to push the outcome that they want. And there's a good chance that a few moderate Democrats cross the aisle and join Republicans. We saw that in the U.S. Senate. But Democrats' leadership, they're encouraging people to vote against this bill. Why? Because remember, it includes no health care policy changes. There's a number of progressives out there that believe that Democrats caved to Republicans in the ending of this shutdown. Now to the question of, okay, let's have a rosy, optimistic picture of Thursday morning, the government being reopened. How quickly could things return to normal? There will still be some delays. Your SNAP benefits, there's been so much confusion over it, right? Partially funded, fully funded, not funded, funded again. it's not going to be like that in an instant. The benefits are going to be paid out. There will still be some delays. Same goes with airports in this country, although travel experts say that if the government can reopen later this week, should be enough time for airports and airlines to get back online and fully operational for Thanksgiving. But again, a delay is possible. And while we're talking about airports and traveling, and remember, if you're headed to an airport today, the government's still shut down. The impacts are still there. Getting members back here to vote on this is a bit of a question mark with so many cancellation and delays. Speaker Mike Johnson is encouraging members, don't cut this one close. Leave now, drive if you have to, so that the House can move as quickly as possible to pass this, again, as early as Wednesday evening, guys.
You know, we're going to Brazil tomorrow, catching a flight, hopefully. So
Oh, wow.
we're just, you know, crossing our fingers.
Yes, we're hoping. Well, thank you so much for the info, sir.
I'm going to message you. My wife and I went on a vacation there last year, so I got some recommendations for you. I'm going to send you an email right
Love
now.
it, Joe.
Yes,
Thank you
please.
so much.
All right, we'll talk to you again soon. Have a good one.
Yeah.
Blown out windows to damaged vehicles. Many neighbors still recovering from a hailstorm that made its way through the coastal bend. But as residents plan repairs, city officials want to make sure they're protecting themselves from a different threat.
What we're seeing here quite a bit in the city of Portland is a lot of contractors are coming in from out of town.
Before you sign on the dotted line, there are many things to be mindful of. Always pay attention to what exactly you're signing. Read every document very carefully. Keep an eye out for any misleading language in said documents. For example, homeowner agrees to the listed repairs for the value of insurance proceeds. And if they're solicitors, the ones coming to your door for business, make sure they have proper permits, windstorm certifications, and if you're a Portland resident, solicitors registered with the city should have official badges as well.
Good morning, everyone. Well, the sun rises around 7 a.m. and right now, before that, we're going to feel these cooler temperatures. Currently in Corpus Christi, 45 degrees. It feels like 43. Robstown, 44. Alice, 38. More inland, San Diego, 37. Feels like 40 degrees. George West, 39. It feels like 35 degrees. Beeville, 38. But it feels like temperature of 35 degrees. And those winds are light right now, and they will be like this throughout the day. Currently 5 miles per hour in Corpus Christi coming from the north. Port Aransas from the northwest, 7 miles per hour. So calm winds. That is going to help us with the fire danger that we have in the region. But let's first look at our almanac. Something to talk about yesterday. We were much cooler during the day. A high of 66 degrees, low, overnight low of 42. That's what we're waking up to now. Looking at the record temperatures back in 1947, we had a high temperature of 93 degrees. So you can see the difference there. We're not even close to 93 degrees. But back in 1948, we had a low of 36 degrees. Other places in the country are feeling those temperatures, but for now, we're in the 40s. It feels like we're in the 30s. Your dog walking forecast. Oh, little puppy right here. Bo, very cute. Good morning, Bo. And if you're wanting to take your doggy out for a walk, this is what you can expect. By 9 a.m., we'll be at 59 degrees, warming up to 64. By 10 a.m., 68, 11. And by noon, we're at 72 degrees with those calm winds coming from the south at 12 miles per hour. Here's a closer look at the fire weather alerts that we were talking about. All this pink right here, Duval County, more inland is the red flag warning because of the gusts that are up to 15 miles per hour and relative humidity that's low, 5 to 15%, plus the dry vegetation. That is what's causing these fire weather alerts for parts of the coastal bend. So just be careful. But in the next couple of days, we will warm up. The humidity will return here in the coastal bend. So as you can see, Wednesday, Thursday, we're climbing those temperatures. By your weekend, we're in the mid 80s. So not so much what we're feeling now in the 40s. Today we will be in the mid 70s. Here's your muggy meter. Like I said, we are going to start to feel humid by Wednesday, Thursday. That dew point reaching 70. Very humid conditions into your weekend. That's also going to help with rain chances ahead of a possible cold front. So here's your 7-day forecast for today. Sunny skies, 76 degrees. Wednesday and Thursday, those temperatures climb. 84 degrees for your Thursday, 83 for your Friday. Into the weekend, we're in the mid-80s, tracking the possibility for some rain chances.
I'm Melissa Trevino in Falfurrias. The people here have spoken. Proposition A passed. I'll tell you what happens next and how this will benefit 2 volunteer fire departments in this rural community.
Welcome back, folks. 6:13 is your time, getting a live look from our SPID Skycam. Traffic flowing pretty nicely. We're going to be checking in with our meteorologist, Victoria Valderrama, with a look at the roads, plus the weather, of course, because it's chilly out there. But first, we got some local headlines for you.
Yeah, there's new details in the street racing case that claimed the life of 14-year-old Jason Buster last week. Arrest records obtained by Chris 6 News reveal a witness heard 2 vehicles speeding at 60 to 80 miles per hour on North Lexington Boulevard in the area of Leopard and NPID. The witnesses say that Buster, who was skateboarding, said hi to him. Seconds later, a white Challenger hit the teen, throwing him about 50 feet into a ditch. The witness told police he never saw brake lights from either vehicle. 19-year-old Ricardo Lucia and 18-year-old Jesus Antonio Lorenzo Rodriguez Jr. are charged with racing causing death. Both have denied racing and claim they were only driving 35 miles per hour, though. But if convicted, they each face 2 to 20 years in prison.
I'm Melissa Trevino, your neighborhood news reporter in Falfurrias. For years, volunteer firefighters in Falfurrias and Southern Brooks County have done a lot with very little. But now that's going to change thanks to voters who approved Proposition A. Meet Falfurrias Fire Chief Ruben Ramirez. His volunteer team is one of 2 in the area that helps put out fires in Brooks County.
It won't solve all our problems, but it's definitely going to help.
That help he's talking about is Proposition A, which will turn their team and the Southern Brooks County Volunteer Fire Department into one emergency service district.
This isn't going to be saving grace for anybody, for each department, but it's definitely going to help when purchasing equipment.
Michelle Rangel has lived in Brooks County for more than 50 years. She's one of many residents who voted for Proposition A.
Firefighters go out of their way without getting paid, without thinking about it twice. It's good that they're out there and that we were able to support them, and they do need the help from everybody in the community or whoever can help.
Chief Ramirez tells me the move to form an ESD started years ago after trouble getting funding from previous city administration. Now, with this help, they can work on getting new equipment.
Both fire departments are in need of SCBAs, thermals, a little bit more pristine training, and we're both in deep need for some new fire engines.
The tax rate will range between 3 cents to 10 cents for every $100 of property value, a small price that makes a big impact. Chief Ruben Ramirez says the next step is for the county to appoint fire commissioners. In Falfurrias, I'm Melissa Trevino, your neighborhood news reporter, Chris 6 News.
Good morning, everyone. The time now 6:16 a.m. on your Tuesday morning. Our friends across the country are definitely experiencing this Arctic blast, blizzard-like conditions in parts of the country. As you can see, our friends on the East Coast, they're in the 20s. 27 Buffalo, Cleveland, Nashville 25, New Orleans 35. For us here in Texas, we're all feeling these cooler temperatures. 45 degrees here in Corpus Christi, San Antonio 38. Houston 37, in New Mexico they're in the 40s, so we're all suffering a bit with these colder temperatures now that we are in November. Our almanac, we can see the temperatures. Yesterday we were cooler. We're actually going to warm up a bit today. We had a high temperature of 66 degrees for your Monday. Now overnight we did have a low, the coldest temperature yet, 42 degrees here in Corpus Christi. Our record temperatures though, as you can see, 1947, we had a high temperature of 93 degrees, not even close, 66 degrees to 93 degrees, a big difference there. 1948, we did have a record low of 36 degrees. Now for your dog walking forecast, we are going to warm up, like I said, warmer than what we experienced yesterday. Here's our little friend Bo, our little weenie dog. Bo's gonna go for a walk later on today. It's going to feel warmer. We're going to be at 68 degrees by 11 a.m., 72 by lunchtime. Calm winds 12 miles per hour. Your forecast highs for other parts of the coastal bend: 76 degrees here in Corpus Christi, 77 in Robstown, 74 in Sinton. More inland, it's cooler. Beeville 64, Refugio 64 as well. Rockport 64 and Port Aransas 63 degrees. Now we've got these warm temperatures, some gusty conditions in parts of the region, and relative humidity is low, 5 to 15%, and dry vegetation. That's not helping with our fire weather alerts, red flag warning. All this here in pink, Duval County, more inland, they have a red flag warning, so just something to think about. We have been experiencing these red flag warnings, and what's going to help is the humidity rising, but the temperatures will also start to rise. We're on a warming trend for the rest of the week. Wednesday, Thursday, we're in the mid-70s. By your weekend, we're in the 80s. And for your muggy meter, you can also see the dew point. We're going to reach 70 by Sunday, and with that, it's going to help fuel our rain chances. Our rain chances, as you can see right now, it's not looking too likely, but 20% chance for your Saturday and Sunday. We've included that in your 7-day forecast. For today, a forecast high of 76 degrees. We start to warm up. 83 for your Wednesday, 84 Thursday, Friday, 83 degrees. And for your weekend, tracking some possibilities for rain: 83 Saturday, 84 Sunday.
This is Veterans in Focus, sponsored by the Heil Law Firm, battling for justice, winning for the community.
So this Veterans Day, a Robstown veteran is once again preparing to face the Texas Department of Public Safety in a court case. Now, I've been following this case since 2023, when a jury awarded Iraq War veteran Leroy Torres nearly $2.5 million, finding that the DPS failed to make reasonable efforts to accommodate his service-related disability. But that verdict didn't end the fight. The state appealed the decision, and the case is now set to go before the 15th Court of Appeals on November 20th. Now, folks, make sure you join us tonight at 6 for this week's Veterans in Focus as we sit down with Torres, who shares why he believes this next ruling could help shape how veterans are protected in the workplace. And don't forget, today is Veterans Day, a time to honor the men and women who have served in our nation's military. There are plenty of Veterans Day events going on today in your neighborhood as well. So in Alice, they'll be hosting a Veterans Day ceremony. That one will take place at 8:30 a.m. at Alice ISD's central office. Breakfast will be provided too, along with performances from the students. American Legion Post 364 will also be hosting a Veterans Day ceremony. That will be from noon to 2 p.m. at 5323 Custorus Road. For a complete list of Veterans Day events, you can head to our website, christv.com.
6:24 a.m. Rise and shine. It looks like the sun is rising. Here is a live look outside from our First Community Bank Skycam. We can see the New Harbor Bridge. It is glowing. It looks so beautiful outside. The temperatures right now, though, we are definitely feeling colder. We're in the 40s, but it feels like we're in the 30s. Now to our traffic flow maps. As you can see, we're in Flower Bluff. We got some medium moving traffic. That's 358 Flower Bluff. But everything else along here is looking good. Green means fast moving traffic, so nothing too crazy going on out there on the roads in Corpus Christi and in Flower Bluff. Like I said, now if you're coming on SPID, nothing too bad into the island. We do have some construction going on here, though. That looks like Commodore Drive, some medium moving traffic there. But like I said, nothing too bad. Fast moving traffic here in Corpus Christi, Flower Bluff, going to the island. Now, school starts around 7:50, 8:50. That's when things start to pick up here in Corpus Christi. So be sure to be safe out on the roads. Now, because it's colder, you might want to start your car, give it some time, get the engine to warm up, and also get yourself warm inside as you make your way to work or school this Tuesday morning.
Now, weather on the 6s.
Good morning, Coastal Bend. Here's a live look from our Snoopy's Skycam. sponsored by Matthews CCAC, and we can see there are a few cars going over the JFK Causeway. The sun is rising. It looks so pretty outside. It looks nice and warm, but don't let it fool you because we are cold, or colder than we usually are. We're in the 40s. It feels like we're in the 30s. Earlier today, actually, it felt like we were in the 30s, but now we're starting to warm up a bit. 45 degrees in Corpus Christi. It feels like 43. Robstown, 43 degrees. If we go more inland, to our friends in George West, 39, Beeville 39 with a feels like temperature of 35, over to Rockport 45 degrees, Port Aransas 52 degrees, the Naval Air Station 50 degrees. Our winds are calm right now in Corpus Christi, coming from the north at 5 miles per hour. Port Aransas from the northwest at 6 miles per hour. Overall calm winds here in the coastal bend. Now looking at the past 10 hours, those temperatures dropped. We could see that yesterday night we were at 50 degrees, 49 by 9 p.m. The coldest time was at 2 a.m., 41 degrees. We started to warm up just a little bit, 43 degrees, and it felt like we were in the 30s, 45 degrees now at 6 a.m. in the 6 o'clock hour. But the skies, it looks beautiful outside. We got the sun rising. Let's look at the temperatures though from yesterday. We started off the day just like we are seeing right now. The sun is rising. It looks nice and calm outside, but we were colder. We were at 66 degrees. That was your high for your Monday, and your low, overnight low, 42 degrees. It was the coldest morning. It has been the coldest morning that we've experienced yet here in the coastal bend. Our record temperatures, we can see in 1947, we had a high of 93 degrees. Big difference there. Yeah, we are not in the 90s. We were in the 60s, and today we're actually going to warm up to be in the 70s. In 1948, we had a record low of 36 degrees. No rainfall. We are in a deficit, negative 12.32. So we're keeping an eye on some rain chances for your weekend, fingers crossed. Now your dog walking forecast, we are warming up. Here's our friend Bo. If Bo wants to go for a walk, it might be a good time to go around lunchtime. We'll be at 72 degrees, sunny skies, calm winds coming from the south at 12 miles per hour. For the rest of the coastal bend, we will be at 77 degrees in Robstown, 74 Sinton Refugio, 64 Rockport, 64 Aransas Pass at 63 degrees. We've got some fire weather alerts, and once the humidity rises and the temperatures rise, we could see that fire weather alert go away. Now, as for your the humidity, the moisture will return. The dew point at 70 by Sunday. That's going to help our rain chances for your Saturday and Sunday. 20% chance. We've included that in your 7-day forecast. For today, expect a temperature of 76 degrees with sunny skies.
Skepticism of artificial dyes in our food is not new, but new rules, calls from the federal government, and promises from food product companies have ignited a new shift towards natural alternatives. For American consumers already facing high grocery bills, the transition might wind up costing us more. Companies like Kraft, Walmart, and General Mills have already made promises pledging to remove artificial dyes from their food products.
I think those large companies want to keep their customer happy, and they think that this move is going to do that.
Melissa Wright is a food safety specialist at Virginia Tech. She says replacing artificial dyes is not as simple as it sounds. Natural colors are less stable and more expensive to produce.
But also, I think they have to be aware that the customer is going to be unhappy when their product changes.
A lesson General Mills, the maker of Trix cereal, learned in 2015. After removing artificial dyes, consumer pushback resulted in the company adding the synthetic colors back 2 years later.
For the vast majority of people, there are no real concerns for many of these food dyes.
But Michigan State's Jamie Allen says there are legitimate concerns about some artificial dyes. Some studies suggest they may cause hyperactivity in certain children. But there's a lot we don't know when it comes to the additives' health impacts.
One of the things we're unsure of is how much of that is due to the food dye versus a preservative like sodium benzoate. And And then, of course, many of these foods that are brightly colored also have a lot of sugar.
The transition comes with challenges. Larger companies have the resources to make the switch.
They have enough money to buy these really limited quantities of natural ingredients.
Smaller producers struggle with limited supply and higher costs.
And so the smaller producers are going to have to push a lot more of that price onto their customer.
Chocolate Chop Ice Cream in Madison, Wisconsin has already shifted the majority of their colors to natural alternatives. CEO David Dedman says it could add up to 10 cents to each cone.
To move to natural, that's just going to be the cost. And, I have kids, it's definitely worth it.
Both Wright and Allen agree the timeline for companies to fully transition by the end of 2026 is ambitious, particularly when it comes to the supply chain. Holly Furfer, Scripps News Group, Atlanta.
Happy Tuesday morning, everyone. If you're heading out the door, you're going to want to bundle up. We're in the 40s. It's the coldest morning yet, but it will warm up for those of you that just don't like this colder weather. We are going to be warming up. We're on this warming trend, actually. As you can see, we have a forecast high of 76 for your Tuesday, and then we warm up Wednesday, Thursday, 83 degrees, 84 degrees for your Thursday, Friday, 83. That's going to be the trend, like I said, for the next couple of days. Into your weekend, 83 degrees for your Saturday, Sunday, 84. We're tracking the possibility of some rain chances. 20% chance for now. We're keeping a close eye on it. That's ahead of a possible cold front happening early in the week. But for now, 85 degrees on your Monday morning. Be sure to enjoy your Tuesday. It's Veterans Day. Happy Veterans Day. Now we're gonna keeping a close eye on everything, but near normal temperatures. We do have a fire weather alert in effect until Wednesday, so just something to think about for the rest of your week. And then humidity returns for later on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Now, 20 minutes of non-stop news, sponsored by Ewald Kubota.
Hey, welcome back, folks. Thank you so much for joining us for our 20 minutes of nonstop news with the Hoffmans. I'm Brian Hoffman.
And I'm Michelle Hoffman. Folks, we have plenty of news to get to from your neighborhood. But first, we have a little surprise for you. We have Miss Victoria Balderrama joining us with a look at your roadways this morning. Hey, good morning.
Good morning. Yes. Well, it is colder this morning. The coldest morning yet for us here in Corpus Christi. Pro tip, if you're going to be out the door, getting in the car, maybe warm it up. I think for most of us here in the coastal bend, we're not used to like thinking about that. It's like get in and go. But yeah, maybe think about warming up the engine. I know that it helps the car and maybe get warm inside. Here's a live look outside. As you can see, fast moving traffic. The sun is rising. It's so beautiful. Now we got more cars out on the roadway as they make their way to work, school. School starts around 7:50, 8:50 for our high schoolers. But our traffic flow, as you can see, everything's fast moving on 181 Portland to Corpus Christi. That road closure here because of the new Harbor Bridge. You're going to want to go the speed limit on 181, 65 miles per hour. Also a pro tip, I'm always going over the bridge, so just be safe as you head out in that direction. Ocean Drive, SPID, Saratoga, also fast moving traffic. No major accidents to report. And it's Jocelyn, though. This is something different here. We got medium moving traffic on Ennis Jocelyn. We see that going into 7 a.m. because everyone is waking up, going out the door, going to work, going to school. So be sure to be safe out on the roadways. Happy Tuesday, everyone.
That's right. Happy Tuesday, Indy. Thank you so much, Vicki. We're going to check back in with you in a little bit. But first, folks, we've got plenty of neighborhood news to get to this morning.
Yeah, from the dedication of a post office to a World War II veteran to the future of the Inner D-Cell project. We have you covered in your neighborhood check-in.
A September poll by My Town, Our Future shows most Corpus Christi residents want the city to move forward on desal. Many also say they don't trust City Council to get it done. Now, City Manager Peter Zanoni says he's found a no-cost path forward for the Inner Harbor project, keeping it alive by working with the second bidder. The plan is drawing new support from Councilwoman Carolyn Vaughn to Councilman Eric Cantu, and it's coming just as the Texas Water Development Board tells the city it won't move state funding to another project.
You know, paint a pig, I mean, it's still a pig.
District 2 Councilwoman Sylvia Campos says nothing's changed on Inner Harbor, calling it a bad location and bad for the environment.
Who is the water for? That's the conversations that we need to have. You know, how much water is enough?
The voter approval tax ratification election, or VATER, failed. It was meant to address the more than $4 million budget deficit within Kingsville ISD. I spoke with Chief Financial Officer Dr. Peter Pitts about why he thinks it didn't pass. Many neighbors told me off camera they did not get to vote this time around. According to the county elections office, 511 people voted for the proposition and 786 were against it. Dr. Pitts tells me it boils down to not just getting the word out. To address the budget deficit, he says it starts with right-sizing the district. According to Dr. Pitts, some of the largest expenditures in the district are health and property insurance, and they will have to change how they manage those to save money. They are also looking at what other expenses they will have to cut. He says major staff changes may not happen until the 2026 to 2027 school year.
I'm Melissa Trevino, your neighborhood news reporter in Falfurrias. For years, volunteer firefighters in Falfurrias and Southern Brooks County have done a lot with very little. But now that's going to change thanks to voters who approved Proposition A. Meet Falfurrias Fire Chief Ruben Ramirez. His volunteer team is one of two in the area that helps put out fires in Brooks County. Proposition A, which will turn their team and the Southern Brooks County Volunteer Fire Department into one emergency service district. Chief Ramirez tells me the move to form an ESD started years ago after trouble getting funding from previous city administration. Now, with this help, they can work on getting new equipment. The tax rate will range between 3 cents to 10 cents for every $100 of property value, a small price that makes a big impact.
A legacy that lives on. Amana Conejo showing you how Corpus Christi is honoring the late Bob Batterson. The post office on North Tancoa Street in downtown Corpus Christi now carries the name of Captain Robert E. Bob Batterson, a World War II Navy aviator and Pearl Harbor survivor. The name change became possible through legislation introduced by Congressman Michael Cloud, signed into law earlier this year. Batterson passed away at 102 years old, but his decades of service, both to his country and the USS Lexington Museum, continue to inspire the community.
Hello, hello, hello. Good morning. Happy Tuesday. Rise and shine, Corpus Christi. We are at 45 degrees right now, but it feels like 43. Ingleside, 41 degrees. Rockport, 45. And more inland, George West, 39 degrees. Beeville, 39, but it feels like 36 degrees. Our almanac, though, if we talk about the temperatures, what it's been feeling like, yesterday, your Monday, we were at 66 degrees. That was your forecast high. Today, we will warm up. We'll have a warmer day. However, we are experiencing the coldest morning yet. 42 degrees was your overnight low. We are warming up a bit now, but looking at those record temperatures back in 1947, we hit an all-time high of 93. Big difference there from 66 degrees to 93 degrees. Yeah, that's almost like summer-like conditions. In 1948, though, we were at 36 degrees, very cold, much colder than what it feels like right now. Your feels like temperatures for your Tuesday, we are going to warm up a bit. So yesterday we were at 66 degrees. Today it looks like 76 degrees will be your forecast high. That's going to be 2 p.m. We're going to hit 76 degrees, and for your evening we start to cool down a bit. We're in the 60s, 75 degrees by 4 p.m., 69 by 6 p.m., 67 by 8 p.m., 10 p.m. We're at 66 degrees, and during the night we're in the 50s, not in the 40s. So we can look forward to that for those of you that don't really like these colder conditions. Your forecast highs for today, other than here in Corpus Christi, forecast high of 76 degrees. Robstown, 77 degrees. Orange Grove, 77. Beeville, 64. Refugio, Sinton 74, Aransas Pass 63 degrees, Rockport 64, so not looking too bad. We are near normal temperatures, but because we have these warmer temperatures, drier conditions, drier vegetation, low humidity, all of these things will cause a forecast fire danger, fire risk for the coastal bend. As you can see, all this yellow here, that's high fire danger risk for Corpus Christi, parts of Corpus Christi, Mathis, Beeville, Alice, and everyone to the east of us. But as far as this blue section right here, this blue area, that's Rockport, Fulton, Seadrift, all the way up north. That's a moderate fire danger risk. So just some things to think about. That's going to continue into your Wednesday. We are in a warming trend that doesn't help with the fire risk, but the moisture will return. That's going to help with the fire danger risk and also with our rain chances. As you can see, the Muggy meter, we reach almost 75 for your dew point on Sunday, 20% chance of rain for your Saturday, Sunday. We're keeping a close eye on that, but you can expect the humidity to rise and your rain chances also with that for your Saturday and Sunday, isolated rain chances. We've included that in your 7-day forecast, but for today, you can expect a forecast temperature of 76 degrees with sunny skies.
I'm your Portland neighborhood news reporter, Adam Beam. As recovery from last week's hailstorm continues, neighbors should be aware of another threat to their homes: scammers.
Blown out windows to damaged vehicles. Many neighbors still recovering from a hailstorm that made its way through the coastal bend. But as residents plan repairs, city officials want to make sure they're protecting themselves from a different threat.
What we're seeing here quite a bit in the city of Portland is a lot of contractors are coming in from out of town.
Portland city officials say in the past week, nearly 100 new contractors have registered with the city, mainly focusing on replacing windows and roofs. But while these companies are registered with the city and accessible for all residents to research, bad actors can still be out there.
We do have code enforcement and the police department policing some of these areas where there was high damage. We've put out several resources that will allow our residents to be educated about the contractors that are coming into this area.
Before you sign on the dotted line, there are many things to be mindful of. Always pay attention to what exactly you're signing. Read every document very carefully. Keep an eye out for any misleading language in said documents. For example, homeowner agrees to the listed repairs for the value of insurance proceeds. And if they're solicitors, the ones coming to your door for business, make sure they have proper permits, windstorm certifications, and if you're a Portland resident, solicitors registered with the city should have official badges as well.
Residents can always ask the solicitor or vendor to provide that information. If they do not have one, they are able to call our police department to report that solicitor.
For the full list of contractors registered with the City of Portland, as well as other details for neighbors in San Patricio County, click onto our website at christv.com. Reporting in Portland, I'm Adam Beam for Chris 6 News.
Now, 6 things to know before you go.
The Senate has passed a bipartisan bill Monday night to reopen the government and bring an end to the record-long shutdown. The package includes funding for SNAP benefits through next September and keeps much of the government running on a short-term basis through January 30th. The final vote was 60-40, with 8 Democrats joining Republicans to break this stalemate. Every Republican voted in favor, except for Kentucky Senator Rand Paul. The Senate's approval came after hours of voting and debate to finalize the compromise. The measure now heads to the House, which could take up as early as Wednesday.
Several Texas families are taking Camp Mystic to court, alleging gross negligence over the flash floods that killed more than 24 young campers this summer. 3 lawsuits were filed Monday by the families of 7 campers and 2 counselors who died in the July 4th tragedy. One of the suits accuses the camp of housing girls in flood-prone cabins and not following state rules that require evacuation plans. Now, each lawsuit seeks more than $1 million in damages, but camp attorneys say staff did their best once the warnings came through during an unprecedented disaster. Camp Mystic previously said it will reopen next summer with new safety protocols in place.
The Supreme Court agreed Monday to decide whether states may count mail-in ballots received after the election day. The case is over a Mississippi law enacted during the pandemic that allows ballots to be received up to 5 days late. That's as long as they are postmarked by Election Day. The Republican National Committee and others sued over the law. They claim the provision violated a federal law that fixes the date for the election. 15 states allow regular mail ballots to be accepted after Election Day, but most of the nation's battleground states require ballots to be received by Election Day.
The IRS is shutting down its free offering of Direct File. The Biden administration announced the new online program last year. Direct File was aimed to help low and moderate income taxpayers file their returns easily, but fewer than 300,000 people used Direct File this year. Treasury Department officials said the program was halted because it wasn't widely used.
Target customers could soon get a friendlier shopping experience. The retailer's new policy requires employees to greet all customers when within a certain distance. Staff members within 10 feet of a customer must smile, make eye contact, wave, and use approachable body language. Employees within 4 feet of a shopper must have to personally greet them. It's a part of the company's new 10-4 policy. Target is hoping it'll make customers feel more appreciated.
Hey, coffee lovers, you can rejoice because Dutch Bros Coffee is coming to Corpus Christi. The newest drive-through establishment will be located on Saratoga Boulevard, and that's in the same center as the new Chipotle located near Cimarron Boulevard. Work on the $750,000 construction project is set to begin in April of 2026 and is expected to be completed a couple of months later in the summer.
All right, folks, on to what's trending. You got to check us out. So 3 iconic childhood games have just been added to the National Toy Hall of Fame. So every year, the prestigious hall inducts new honorees and showcases classic toys. This year, the games chosen to be enshrined are Milton Bradley's Battleship, Slime, and Trivial Pursuit. Those 3 beat out other finalists, including Connect 4, Tickle Me Elmo, and the Star Wars lightsaber. You can visit the National Toy Hall of Fame at the Strong National Museum of Play in Rochester, New York.
Not bad.
Slime.
Not bad.
Battleship was fantastic.
Yeah.
I always loved me some Battleship. So in my college years, we would used to play a drinking style of Battleship where we used to put those red Solo cups and a big cardboard divider and whatnot.
Yes.
So, yeah. And
I
then
never did that.
Slime was always fun.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about. Yes, lots of fun, both versions. I don't know. I think you might have to introduce Michelle to that game.
Yeah, maybe sometime. I do like, Battleship. I just haven't played it that way, I guess.
Yes. By the end, you couldn't really pronounce slip. Yes. Anyway.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like when you're a kid, you're always playing those games. I haven't played Battleship in a long time. Like since COVID when you were stuck inside bored.
It would always take hours as a kid, though, too.
Yeah.
But anyway, so when it comes to this morning, getting those kiddos out the door, should they be wearing their winter coats?
Yes, definitely. We're in the 40s. It's the coldest morning yet. We were at, I think, 42 degrees, 41 degrees. That was the coldest point, 2 in the morning. But now we're starting to warm up. We're in a warming trend. So as you can see, today forecast high of 76 degrees, feeling a lot warmer than we did on Monday. Wednesday, 83 degrees. Thursday, 84 degrees. Friday, 83. Sunny skies. We are tracking the possibility of some rain here in the coastal bend. Hopefully, fingers crossed. 20% chance as of right now. We're keeping a close eye on it. All of this is happening ahead of a cold front that could get here to the coastal bend next week. But for now, forecast high of 85 degrees for your Monday. We're feeling these near normal temperatures in the 80s. Low humidity, that's not really helping with fire danger risk across the region. Something to note for our region, our areas, our neighborhoods more inland. But then we start to see the humidity return about Thursday, Friday, and that's also helping fuel our rain chances for Saturday and Sunday. But really, I think now it's feeling like November. We're getting over that high humidity, high temperatures in the 90s. Definitely. I think it feels like now Thanksgiving vibes, so we can enjoy that, look forward to that. 76 degrees, not too bad for today. We were just talking about that.
Yeah,
so.
I like it. But you know what? We won't be back, actually, until Thanksgiving because we're going to be in Brazil, and it's really warm over there. Yeah, it's their summertime, dry season.
So are they like humid, or have you guys looked at the
I haven't. No, but we get to rely on people like you, so.
Yeah, we're going to be picking your brain after this show.
Come on. Are you guys going to be in Rio?
Yes,
Oh my
yes,
God,
we will.
So much fun. We'll be waiting for you here.
And we will see you guys in about 2 weeks. Hope you have a great one, folks.
Bye.